Right, okay. Here's something a bit different. This is completely off the cuff. No script, no nothing. This is a video that just came to me recently. I thought, I've never talked about a very strange thing that happened to me in 2006. Not that strange thing, that's for another video. I said this to a friend recently and I sort of thought to myself, this is something I've never really talked about, and it's something I haven't even really thought about since it happened. It's probably not strange at all, but I've just never talked about it and no one else has ever mentioned it's happened to them. There was a few elements that came together, made this seem a little bit more poignant at the time. It was a little bit more, I don't know, it just seemed like it was meant to be. I thought maybe somebody might find this really interesting, or you'll just find it really boring and be like, oh, okay, whatever. So, what am I talking about? Sorry, stop talking in riddles, James. I know. Anyway. So it was 2006, I was 21, I think when this happened I was actually 22, my birthday's in August, so I think this happened in September of that year. What happened originally was, I had a friend or two that worked in a company in Glasgow. I'd been to this place before. I think I'd been before this and I certainly was there after. You know, a company will come to you, pick a person either at random or because they have a specific interest and you are on their books because you're interested in that thing, or you're just completely plucked out the books and it's like, hey, be our guinea pig for this trial of this product or whatever. We just want your opinion on something even. So, I'd done a few things like that in the actual offices and it was quite interesting, it was quite fun, and this one came up and it was, hey James, a big company wants to get in touch because they've got this thing they need to do and you're perfect. And I thought, okay, what's this all about? I don't remember how much the fee was for this one, because sometimes you were getting like 20 quid or £20, again, sorry for saying quid all the time. Yeah, I'm Scottish, I'm not going to apologise for it. So it was 20 quid, or sometimes it was like 50. I think this one was a good 200 or 300. It was more than the normal because it was going to last for longer than the normal, and it was actually going to last an entire day, or in fact it might have been 2 days. This is the part I don't remember. It was either 2 whole days or it was 1 whole day. What it ended up being was Microsoft wanted to follow individuals around to monitor their daily life. And I thought, oh, okay, that sounds strange, but the brief, as I remember, there is no way I'll still have any correspondence about this. I'm not even going to waste my time looking it up. So my memory and my off-the-cuff remarks here are all you're going to get, and it's all that I've got left to go on. So they said, right, we need someone that's like, you know, into technology, we need someone that's into gaming, I think, was even part of it. Someone into music production, perhaps. I can't remember if that was part of it or not, but I seemed to tick all the boxes, and I thought, hey, that's kind of cool. Yeah, why not? You know, I was just like, yeah, whatever, it's free money. It felt like it was getting really strange when it got close to it, because I think they just picked a random day. I don't even think I got to pick the day, but it was a pair, it was a couple, it was a man and a woman, lovely people. I just turned 22 at the time. I would, at a rough guess, say, I think they were around about 30. I think they were about 30 to 35. They might have even been younger than that. They came to my house, my parents' house at the time, and they said to me, what we're going to do is we're going to follow you around and just watch what you do. And I thought, that seems a little bit too good to be true. A fly-on-the-wall couple from Microsoft. It was just like Hollywood had rolled up at the door and said, hey, you're our star for the day. And I thought, this is really actually quite strange. Initially I was like, yeah, whatever. And then it came to this moment and I thought, I'm going to have people follow me around. I can't remember if it was the next day or it was like a couple of days after that. The day that I landed on to have this happen, this experiment, was, or monitoring, I don't know if it was an experiment, who knows, it was data gathering basically, you know. They were getting information, they were compiling a project together on me in a folder that they then had to talk about at some seminar, some, you know, overall final discussion in front of people with a big, you know, I think he said it was going to be in front of hundreds of people in this big auditorium type thing, like a sort of lecture hall. This just gets weirder and weirder, I thought. So the day that I was then going to be followed around was a day that we had a gig. My band Tempercam had a show in the ABC2, ABC RIP, or hopefully not, maybe not from what I hear. But the ABC2 gig we had was actually a show that we were using as a launch gig for our song in the game Saints Row. Now, the game Saints Row, the initial first game, was an Xbox 360 exclusive. So I mentioned this to the two people and I said, hey, we've actually got a show up in Glasgow. I'm sorry if this is going to be awkward. We're playing a show. Are you able to come? Because we have to play it. It's for a Microsoft game. And the guy, one of them said to me, like, oh, that's incredible, like how bizarre and how strange this all happened. They said, that's great, we'll get our tickets, we'll see you there. And in some bizarre way, it might be like they knew this was going to be the case. Who knows? It was Microsoft. They kept telling me they were reporting back to the very top of the league of Microsoft. It wasn't just like a student project for Microsoft. This was like full-scale worldwide gathering of data for whatever reason, and that's the only thing they couldn't tell me. Was they couldn't exactly say how the information was used. You're part of this thing, you're one of the guinea pigs, and we're going to follow you. So it was really weird. I keep saying weird, but it was really weird. Maybe I made this up in my recollection of trying to get everything correct, but I'm sure they said something like, if we have to go to London to follow you on a train, if you were going there for the day, that's what we have to do. Bill Gates is signing the check, let's see where you go. It might not have been that way, but I think they said something along those lines. So just so happened, I said, right, we'll get this gig, and all was fine. So we played a great show that night. It was a really cool time for us because of that anyway, but then I also knew that I was having this Microsoft presentation being done on me, and the gig that was part of the presentation was also a Microsoft game. It was brand new. It was a brand new console at the time. The 360 wasn't long out, so it was really cool. All I can say is it felt really cool. That's all I can say. That's what I felt at the time. And having that extra cash just for doing essentially nothing, for doing what I was doing anyway. I mean, my parents must have thought it was kind of strange that these two Americans were following me around for unknown reasons. Sorry, Mum, they're just from Microsoft. They're going to watch me do stuff all day. They're totally not going to kill me. They're not dodgy. They're one of the richest companies in the world. Nothing bad can come from it. Sure, my mum just went, yeah, whatever. Like, alright. My dad was probably like, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. She probably didn't think much of it. No offence to my mum. She probably was like, oh, okay. Maybe you're lying to me, right? Maybe this is a total lie. It was a nice thing. It felt different, and it was, again, not a lot of people. I've never spoke to anyone that's had this happen to them, so I don't know how many folk remember this. If you had this happen, please get in touch. If you see this and you think, hey, that's exactly what happened to me, please let me know. So anyway, we had the final sort of debrief. They came by the next day, or it was like 2 days later, I think, and they said how much they loved the show and how much they've enjoyed learning bits about me. And I was sitting there in this kind of bit where I had my computer stuff. It had all these things. I mean, I just buy stuff all the time. Even in 2006, I was buying random junk off of eBay and wherever else. One thing the guy got really excited about was he leaned over and he picked up this sort of rubber keyboard that could roll up, and it was just a USB keyboard with waterproof keys, so the entire thing could roll up into a sort of, like a tube, like a sort of tight roll, and then you could pack it away, and it was just a weird thing, and it was awful. Imagine typing on bubble wrap. That's what it felt like. Giant bubble wrap was like the feeling of every key. The guy thought this was cool, and he was like, hey, this kind of gets me thinking more about my idea of wearable technology and wearing keyboards in your clothes. And I thought, alright, nice one. Sure, tell that to Bill, see what happens. We've kind of got there with wearable watches that you interact with and all the rest of it, but I mean, keyboards on your clothes. He was thinking way too cyberpunk with that idea, but it was cool anyway to sort of chat about things and have them be excited about the fact that I was a good test subject, I suppose, and it felt like it went well, and off they went, and that was it. I get cha-ching money in my bank, and it's like, okay, that's it. Is any part of my Windows and Microsoft using experience in the years that followed, has it been altered because of that? Who knows? Almost certainly not, but then you just don't know. It's just a strange thing, and I suppose at the end of the day, market research is something that you don't think about whatsoever until it happens to you, and then you realise that there are certain aspects of life that are being looked at that, that are somebody's job is to take that away and analyse it to the full degree, and it then kind of works into future products and future way of life, future marketing, and Then the internet completely exploded with social media, everything like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. They spy on what you say. These kinds of things are potentially maybe less useful than they used to be because now, well, we can just hack straight into your phone and we know what you're doing anyway all day long. But anyway, I digress. I just wanted to talk about that story, and it was, you know, I thought it was quite interesting. It was really interesting to go back over it in my head and sort of think, yeah, what was all that about and was it fun? If you had it happen to you, if anything similar has happened to you, leave me a comment below and like the video, subscribe if you've not subscribed, put the bell on, get the ringing bell next to subscribe. That's my ringing bell symbol apparently. So get that ringing bell on, you'll see all my updates as soon as they happen. Thank you very much. I've been James Mackenzie, Temper James. I'm going on holiday soon, so bye bye. I'll be on holiday when this video goes online. So see you suckers later. Bye bye.